Today's video is we're going to taste this Solar Flare tomato. This is a variety from Brad Gates out in Wild Boar Farms. So such a unique shape and a unique color. So let's get busy. Wow. Got that right through the heart. Looks delicious. That's good. Solar Flare gets a thumbs up. We have a bunch more to taste. So let me show you one other one that I had in here in the Solar Flare. This one here, it looked like to be about half ripe. But it has that same unique shape as the other one. Here's one a little bit more traditional shape and look. But yet, we'll be back to the Big Mamu. This one went nuts. Look at this one. It got cat facing all over the back. This is a big tomato. I measured it, it's 5 inches across. Solar Flare should be on your menu choice to grow next year. Wow, nice green color. This one, you know what? This is the Berkeley Tie Dye, because it's green when ripe. So that one is ready to go. So let's taste a bit of that one right now. I couldn't figure it out, but I just did. That's smooth. That's good tasting. Since we're talking tomato tasting, let's talk flavor for a minute. There are 3 primary factors that affect flavor in a tomato. It's going to be soil, the temperature they're grown in, and the sun. You really do need 8 hours of direct sun. As we come down to the end of tomato season, I wanted to show you some tomatoes, what they look like when we slice them up. So come on in here close and let's have a look. Now, flavor is also determined by the variety of tomato that you grow. And the key factors in that are going to be the size of the fruit. Everyone knows that cherry tomatoes are a lot sweeter than the larger tomato. They have a higher sugar concentration, which gives them the sweet taste. Color is another factor. A red tomato typically will taste different and sweeter than, say, a yellow tomato. Foliage is important. Tomatoes with lots of foliage, like a lot of heirlooms, will be able to convert the sunshine into more sugars and more acid for a better tasting tomato. This is why you don't get as many tomatoes off a vine on the heirloom as you might do on a hybrid. That's typical. That's par for the course. This is my pink Berkeley. This was a whopper of a tomato. That thing is just gorgeous. So I'm gonna slice it up with this pork chop. Wonderful, yellow, nice and meaty, wonderful tomato. This is an early girl. Quite a medley. This was a very successful year for tomatoes. What a wonderful selection of tomatoes. Pork chop, early girl, and Berkeley Tie Dye. And last, hybrids versus heirlooms. Hybrids are grown a little bit different. Some of them have a lot more meatier or a thicker skin or firmer tomatoes. Heirlooms are typically a lot softer, and when you bite into them or slice into them, they're a lot softer and will release the juices to you, and that's why they seem to be a lot juicier. Here we are. These are cherry tomatoes I picked yesterday. All maybe 150 or 200. They're still going, but the rest of them, we're at the end of the season. So this is a summary for tomatoes 2017. Here we are. This is the official scorecard. You can see that Early Girl, EG, was the most productive tomato plant I had. 38 tomatoes. That's a wonderful crop. Part of the reason was, since it bloomed so early and I had plenty of super bloom on it and it set the fruit early, it lived up to its name. Celebrity, down here, was the next most prolific at 22 tomatoes. Now, the heirlooms from Wild Boar Farms, that's the Solar Flare, the Berkeley and the Pink Berkeley, as well as the Pork Chop, all had nice large tomatoes. They weren't quite as prolific. As the Solar Flare had 12, those are the ones that were the red with the yellow stripes on them. I had mammoth tomatoes in the Solar Flare department. And the Berkeley, I had 10 tomatoes. The Berkeley tomato was the green with a little bit of striping on it, and it was a delicious, very mild tasting tomato. And then the Pink Berkeley, which was the red with the green metallic stripes on it, wasn't quite as productive, but very, very tasty. So for next season, I'll evaluate what I want to grow and produce. As you can see, the hybrid tomatoes, that being the Early Girl and the Celebrity, produce the most tomatoes. That's why they're hybrids. They're grown to do that. The heirlooms, they're softer, they're more colorful, they taste different, taste better, and this is why they take a little bit more plant to produce tomatoes. So when you talk about flavor, it's really a balance between the acid and the sugars in the tomato. If you have one that's high in sugar, low in acid, it's going to have a sweet taste. If you have one that's low in sugar and low in acid, it'll be a bland tasting tomato. Typically, the most preferred tomato is high in acid and high in sugar. Most people find that tasting tomato is ideal. And be sure and subscribe down below so you don't want to miss next year when you see what we're going to grow then. But I would guess the best tasting tomato is what tastes best to you. So you want to find that tomato and grow it. If you have a comment or question about tomatoes, leave it in the comment section below. And if you had a particularly successful tomato, be sure and tell me about that too. So if you like this video on tasting the Solar Flare, give me a thumbs up. Come back and see me real soon. And happy tasting your tomatoes.